you feel like after doing this to your face, you're like, we have to talk for another hour.
For at least.
Right, I know.
To make this worth what I did.
I put on a real bra.
Hey guys, Keith Dieter here. I'm in the middle of week 3. Just started week 3 training. Run number 1. We're going 3 today. So I thought I could show you guys a little bit about where I run. It's kind of become a second home to me here. So I'm in a place called English Landing Planting Park. It's here in Parkville. It's kind of close to my apartment. And so, oh, my halfway point just went out. A mile and a half to go. Beautiful Missouri River views, kind of everything. And then one of my favorite things about this place is the crushed limestone trail. If you go running, like especially if you're a beginning runner, crushed limestone is always the way to go for your joints. It helps my knees and my hips so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love running on concrete, I love running on asphalt, but you know, just softer. So I'm gonna finish this run. I'm not trying to set any world records today, so I wanted to talk to y'all. So have a great day. Happy Tuesday, July 7th. Yeah, July 7th. And make today a great one. Love y'all. Morning, everyone. Saturday morning. I think it's July 11th. 9-mile run today. On mile 4.5, just at the halfway point. It's tough. It's hot out here. I'm gonna walk a little bit, I think, in a minute, once I get done with this. But yeah, it's going well. Still not cheating on the long runs. So yeah, going a lot better than the last time so far. We'll see what next week brings. Love you guys. Hi everyone, Novice Guard Dieter Schnitzel here with the City of Fountain Sisters. I am here today with 2 very special guests to have kind of a talk about local art. So my first guest with me today is a very dear friend to the sisters, Courtney K. Perry. Courtney, welcome.
Hi, hello.
And then my other very, very special guest today is a dear, dear sister of mine, Novice Sister Lemonade Phoenix. Hi, Novice Sister Lemonade Phoenix.
Hi.
All right, so how about we just start with whoever wants to start. Let's kind of talk about your background in art and kind of how it's led you to today.
Let's see. What led me to art? I think probably just like being born, but also it's my job. I'm the education director at the Arts Asylum. And it's always just sort of been who I am. I went to school for legal research, and then I also have, I guess, interior design is one of my degrees. That sort of I use is sort of art. But I was working in a law firm for about 6 months, and I, had the corner office and the hose and the big girl briefcase, and my legal secretary came in and said, "Can you answer the phones?" while I run to the bathroom, and I just flipped out. And I was like, I cannot answer the phones. I cannot be here anymore. Get me out of here right now. Drove to my parents' house and was just like sobbing hysterically. And my father is an attorney. I come from a very long line of attorneys, and he opened the door and he goes, "Oh, thank God you realize you're an artist and not a lawyer." and I was like, yes, I have realized that. It would have been nice if maybe somebody had shared that information with me before I did this for a good long time, but it's fine. My husband is in theater, so theater arts came to me kind of later in life. I did it through high school, but nothing on stage. I don't do that. And then visual artist and jewelry designer.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah. Novice Sister Lemonade Phoenix. Is there any? Would you like to talk about your journey with art?
Yeah. So I've been doing art since I could hold a pencil and draw. I come from a family of artists and educators. Either you're a teacher or you're an artist. I grew up doing art. Like My mom put a pencil and paper in front of me, and while other girls were playing with Barbies, I was drawing the characters and making beautiful, elaborate princess dresses for them, and then they would talk to each other. Drawing and art has just been a part of my life. My grandma was an artist. She made everything in her house. She made all her clothes. She had paintings on the walls, and my mom is an artist, and I've grown up with women who are artists, and not necessarily women who are artists that pursued it professionally, just because of the social expectations of the time. They did not feel confident enough to do that. So when I came along and I showed ability and interest, they were all like, "You're going to be a professional artist," and I guess I am. I'm a practicing professional artist, and I do shows. I do a lot of painting, and I do gallery shows, and I have performed, and I've done costume making. But I also just fill my home. For example, this is my bed, and that's my home. It's just that I paint all the walls, like, and not everyone sees that crap, but I do it regardless, and I fill my life with art.
Well, I have been to your home, and I can very much tell you it is a living art gallery. So yes, I totally agree with your assessment of your journey with art. I'll jump in this too. I'm kind of new to the art game. I think you both know kind of how Courtney, my story is very similar to yours. I was in a career that didn't really require a lot of creativity, but the whole time, last 6 years of that 17-year career, I lived with very much an artist. I think he's what's fabulous. So, kind of just sitting there and watching his journey and watching what's presented to me as Alessandra Blaze when I started living with to now. It's night and day. And I think discovering the City of Fountain Sisters and kind of discovering art and how I put it on my face, how I decorate my house with it, how I create it within this project, how I have been creating it within this project. That's kind of my beginning. But I just wanted to bring your guys' perspectives to the table to kind of discuss how to best support it. So with Courtney, with your background, I mean, you are the goddess of local art. I'll do this whole time leading up to this. So why don't I start with you?
So much of support comes from stuff that's just so easy. Liking Instagram posts, liking Facebook posts, making sure you're promoting all of your friends and the artwork that you see kind of in the world, in your world. I mean, I'm lucky enough, I think all of us are lucky enough to kind of be surrounded by art all the time. But all of us have people in our lives that aren't. Making sure that we're sharing what everybody is creating and how they're creating, and really kind of go into the details of what that is, and coming to the realization that art is not what society has made it out to be, which is just this very expendable, unnecessary function, because for so many people it is so necessary. I started by saying, I think I was just bored, but I struggled with anxiety and depression and all different sorts of things, as I think a lot of people do, but specifically artists, in that, I have to create, or it lives in me in a way that is not healthy for anyone around me or for me. I think artists are kind of 50-50. There are people who really need their work to be seen in order to feel that kind of justification, and there are people who just need to make it because it's within them, and neither is right or wrong. But those who are sharing their work, kind of making that effort to really either support them in their journey by providing them with time, materials, the outlet, or support them financially by purchasing and promoting and having other people purchase. I don't know many artists, even if the price point seems unattainable to some, that won't work with somebody who says, look, this is a piece that really speaks to me for XYZ, or this is the kind of thing that I'm feeling. How would you interpret that? I don't know any artist who's just going to turn that down and say, no, this is my price point, I'm out. But I think you'd be surprised when you start really communicating communicating with people on a personal level about what they're creating, how willing they would be to work with you. I mean, I know that there's, artists that I admire that I say, hey, it's just not financially in my time, but can we sit down and create something together? I'll bring all the supplies, I'll bring all of the materials, and they can help you express what you feel like. I don't know that I believe that everyone is an artist, though I think everybody has artistic inclination. But I think everybody can express themselves through art, even if you're not an artist. The things that we pour into our work are worth something, and not just to the person who is capable of purchasing it, but to everybody, and acknowledging what kind of work and time goes into each piece that we create is sometimes enough. Is just acknowledging that as a real profession, a real need, a real, a societal need. I mean, if you took away all the art out of your life, throw your TV away, throw out your food, everything. And people really need to kind of sit down and realize the weight of that, of how much creation there is around us. And just that alone. And then, in the current times, like, wear a mask, because none of us can really do our things very efficiently if we can't gather in groups. So do that too.
So Novice Made Phoenix, what are your thoughts about how to best support local art, support you as a local artist?
I definitely feel like sharing art, like, especially we're an online culture, we share so much information online. I think sharing art and your friends' art online is very important. One thing that I do notice is that people find things online and they do not credit the artist, and that is not helpful. I even had a gallery show and I had everybody taking selfies with my artwork and nobody posting what artwork was by them, no tags. So when you're sharing art, definitely, like, if you can tag the artist so that people can find them, link back to them, always credit an artist. And if you don't know the artist, then try to find out who the artist is, because we do have so much access to information. You probably can find out who did that work. But I am pretty surprised when I go into other circles how much is shared without any acknowledgement, and that goes along with valuing art and artists, their contribution. When you credit them for what they've created, you are saying that you value what they did. Supporting artists for myself personally, of course, would be like purchasing my work, and like Courtney said, not everything is within people's price range, and I have done smaller things, or I have, I've made prints, and then sometimes people, they have come to me and they've been like, I've been saving up for the last 3 years, because they really wanted to own something that I have created, and I think when we are able to, we're all socially isolating right now, so it's a very different world. But back when we could go to things, going to people's shows, and to gallery shows, their theatrical productions, and really giving your physical presence support is really important. And now that we can't really do that right now, so many performers are trying to give some entertainment online, but just giving just a little bit to performers that you really appreciate during this time, artists, just immerse yourself in art, educate yourself about art, fill your life with art, and understand too that, like Courtney said, if we didn't have art, if you really actually dismissed it and took it away, you would have no design, you would have no beauty in anything that surrounds us. Even a fork has art to it.
Yeah, I know, totally. I understand that. And Novice Sister Limited Phoenix, you were part of a project I did last month with for art appreciation with my cell phone. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad I hit the nail on the head. by giving you all the credit you deserve to being a part of that project. And
Thank you for having me be a part of it.
if there's anything else either of you want to share or add, or anything you feel like anyone on this channel should know, please just shout it out.
As the parent of children, there is a thing that I have noticed since I'm also in education that happens to kids probably around puberty, maybe a little bit younger, in which they decide that art is either valid or invalid in their lives, and or that they're good or not good. When I used to teach kind of regular classes with changing children versus now when I have a set group of kids that I teach for a whole year, the like one rule in my classroom was I don't want to hear I can't. You can ask for help all day long, but I don't want to hear I can't, and I don't want to hear you interjecting as to someone else's work. Because there's something so pure about, we're all given crayons and paper as children, as littles. That's absolutely a part of the standard education, to make a craft or make this construction paper thing. And then there just comes a point where we decide that that's no longer a valid way to kind of make things. You're really good at it or you're not. And I guess my whole thing is just, keep making stuff. Even if it looks, in your opinion, like garbage, it's somebody else's, love. I mean, I literally am sitting in front of a wall full of children's art that is so insanely important that we nurture that and that we tell them that that's important. It's still just, putting that pen or marker or whatever paper is something that's so important in the development of kids, I think. I mean, just creativity in general and the arts in general, theater, they teach us to be better people. I mean, it's a level of empathy and putting yourself in the shoes of others that I don't know happens in any other education form. The amount of people who were not taught how to be good humans who care about the lives of others becomes so very apparent. And I don't know any artists that have that as part of their story.
So let your children color on your walls.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All over them.
Now, the Sister living in Phoenix, is there anything else you'd like to add right now, or is there anything else you want to...
just on that note of like nurturing and supporting art in kids and not squashing it. Also as a parent, like when you have a child showing that, I see so much like shoving the child in another direction because you don't feel like art is a profession that will make any money, for lack of like better vocabulary. And I feel that because I have a child myself and I am an artist, and my child was like super good in math and he was really good in science and just really kind of didn't express any interest in art. And we were all very excited that somebody would be making money in this family. And then just like he's 16 going on 17, and he just all of a sudden this year was like, I'm an artist. And I have to admit, even as an artist, for a second I was like, oh. So I had to like recognize that. And I think it's in our society that not just the not valuing of artists, but also not valuing something that you think is going to make money. We're trying to create humans as parents of people who can take care of themselves in the adult world, and that just equates to like financial stability. We don't think of all the other things that humans need to take care of themselves. And just as far as like, I had to recognize that in myself, that I wasn't being supportive, and that maybe I had this secret desire for my child to do something else so that he would make money. And I had to throw that out the window and be like, you're in the best family. If this is what you want to do, be an artist. And it's been the most fantastic year, and appropriate too during quarantine to like really get into art, because you really can't do much else. But I think as a society, we just really need to look at why we undervalue things, and why we think the only valid professions are ones that maybe are like lawyers and doctors, like the really high income professions. And you can make a sustainable living as an artist. You know, everybody has got lots of competition and is going to like have to work hard in this society. But yeah, bringing that back, like nurturing that and supporting that in your children. Your children tell you who they are, and just like they're going to be happier adults who can be loving and compassionate when we don't try to push them into boxes and let them be who they need to be.
Novice Sister Lemonade, that is an excellent point. And in relation to your son, like I am pretty much at the same level. Like I really, really started focusing on this about a year ago. I'm not a visual artist. I'm kind of still establishing like what that looks like, but I'll tell you one thing, like I just finished a 150 song playlist and I can't wait to share with the world. Finding my art voice, I guess, is the best way to put where I'm at right now. So yeah, but I think I pretty much have what I need. Like you get wonderful. I really, 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 really appreciate it. So yay!